In this video, I'll talk about how to use canned emails in Dubsado. If you haven't joined along from the beginning of our Dubsado course, it's called How to Use Dubsado, and it's every video on this playlist. So I urge you to start back at the beginning to learn how to use Dubsado in your creative business. In your business, you probably type out the same things a lot. What does your process look like? Can you do XYZ? You probably get the same questions a lot. What does your pricing look like? What comes next? You know, as an invitation designer, people are often asking about the text of the invites, who gets an invitation, how they should address the invites, etc. Plus, there's probably emails you would like to send to your clients if you had the time, but as a solopreneur, you might not have the time. So thanking them for chatting with you, welcoming them to the family, providing some resources to answer those questions before they even have questions, asking for reviews. Just a couple examples here. So enter canned email templates. Now, we've gone over to this template section so much. We're going to go back there again, and we're going to go into our canned emails. I love this section because it can save you so much time and just repetition. And I think this is an area where you can add a lot of professionalism that you wouldn't have time to do if you had to do them all individually and manually. So a canned email is basically just a standard response that's going to go to your clients at a certain time, or you can just have these in here that you can select whenever you need them. So you can put them in there for a certain amount of time, for instance, as a pre-event or meeting follow-up, whenever you're thanking them for signing the contract, an inquiry response, a payment reminder. You can set certain emails to go out for some of these set tasks that are already here in Dubsado. So these are all the ones that will be loaded in here as samples that you can edit whenever you want. To create a new one, you just click New Canned Response. You're going to type the title of it, which is just for you. So maybe asking for reviews. The subject could be like any feedback. And then you're automatically going to have your email signature in here, which you can set up in the email settings over in this settings tab. You can type anything in here, and you can also use those smart fields. So again, you can put in like client first name. So it's just always going to say, hey, Sarah, thanks for working with us for your project. Now that it's been a month, I would love for you to send me a review, etc. Let's see what my actual one looks like. So we have our subject, could you leave us some feedback? I say, hi, Sarah, or whatever the client's first name is. It was so amazing working with you this year. I wish we could virtually hang out all the time. We're always working on our processes and hoping you could provide some feedback on your experience. I've attached a quick survey as well as links to where you can copy and paste some thoughts if you're interested in sharing publicly. So I like to collect all my reviews in a little survey that's just private to me, and then I'll provide these other options for them if they decide they want to share publicly, which is totally fine as well. So just a super simple email here. You can use links, you can format these, pretty much all the ways that we've been seeing text be formatted throughout this Dubsado. So all the smart fields, all the formatting options, fonts, font choices, links, buttons, just all kinds of things you can do here. Another example is this, what can we do better? So I'm just following up on previous inquiries. I believe you decided to go another route. I just wanted to ask you why, basically. So it's just a little survey that I created for people who haven't booked. This is usually after I've sent 2 reminders. And then I have this one called Welcome to the Family. This just welcomes them and says, thanks for filling out all the paperwork. We're excited. What's going to come next? And then here are some helpful resources. So these are like blog posts and templates that they can use. And this preempts a lot of the questions that I'm going to get, like what should we do for our wording? What should we do for our addresses? Where's your address template? How do I address something? So these are just some things that I've created that are helpful for them and will prevent me from asking questions and also make me look so professional for having preempted those questions. So once you've created all of these emails, how do you go about sending them? I'll head back to my demo account. You go into any job that you want to. I'll visit our Doug and Patty invitations job. In this email tab, you can click send email, and then this bookmark will give you all of your different save emails. So let's do our thank you. So dear Patty, dear client name, we've pulled in the name Patty. It was such a pleasure working with you on, and we haven't used our smart fields here. Maybe that's something that we want to fill out manually every time we send this email. But thank you for choosing business name. We're pleased with how everything turned out and hope you are too. Don't hesitate to reach out in the future. And then you can edit the hyperlink to the review. So this is just the canned template that is already loaded into Dubsado. You can see that it brings us everything that we have in that canned email, and then we could just send this directly to Patty Mayonnaise from here. You can also use a canned email template anytime you send a form, for instance. So if we send this invoice via email, we might have a canned email in here that we want to use every time we send an invoice. And then when you get to the workflow section, you'll see how we can use canned emails in a more automated way to make them even more powerful. So for instance, you could set it up so that a month after the project date, it automatically sends that email asking for feedback. So on August 20th, Doug and Patty will get an email asking for feedback, and you don't even have to go in an emails tab, click it, select which one you want. It will just automatically do that for you. So that's when you can start adding some of those customer service touches that you wouldn't have been able to add if you didn't have a system like Dubsado. So to figure out which email templates you want to create, just keep track of the different emails that you send over and over again. Keep track of customer service touch points you like to do, how you can preempt questions, what questions you're getting a lot, if there's any templates or resources you could create that your clients would find helpful and would make your job a little easier. All of these things can be great examples of email templates that you can create. So the client portal is a place where your clients can go and access all of their forms, contracts, past invoices, all the different parts of their project. And you can even embed this on your website so it looks like a client login, which is really, really cool because it doesn't look like it's different from your website. It looks just like it came from your website and not from an outside system like Dubsado. So when we first log in, I mentioned setting up all of your brand settings, and your portal settings are going to be part of that. So you go up to that settings gear and you click on this portal tab, and you can change a lot of things here to match your branding. So we'll just add in one of my branding colors for the banner color, and then you can change, the font, the header, just all of these different things. You can add a portal banner and also change that for the mobile device. So here's an example of what that banner will look like. I am going to be honest, I don't really use the portal with my clients, but I have used it as a client when I was getting my website revamped, and it was so helpful. So I think this is just wonderful, especially if you are the type of business that does a lot of back and forth or has a lot of visual elements to send to your clients. The portal is going to be so powerful as a way for them to access all of their files, past documents, critique documents, forms, just all the different things that you're sending back and forth with them. So these settings are pretty self-explanatory here. And then you have your link and your embed code. So this link will always lead to my specific Design by Laney portal, and the client will be able to log in. You can see that it says any client with an active portal and password can set access to the portal through this link. So any client would be able to log into my portal by just entering their email address. And if they have a password, then they'll need to enter the password here. This is my demo account, so nothing is even set up here. So it's basically a place where your clients can really log in and just access all their stuff. And you can embed it directly onto your website in your navigation, like client login at the top corner. Really beautiful, really seamless. Once these settings are applied, they're going to apply to every portal. When you go into a specific job, you'll see the portal section here. It's not automatically activated for any client, but you can do this manually or via an automated workflow, which is something we'll discuss at the end of the course. So you just go in here and click activate, and then you can set the password. So this is, who's this? Doug and Patty. So we'll say Doug and Patty. You can set it so the password is always going to be their wedding date. It's always going to be your name, so it's the same for everyone, whatever works for you. You also don't have to set a password if you don't want to. And then after that, you'll be able to view their portal. So here's what that portal will look like, again, without any of those kind of brand settings and nice things applied to it. So we have 2 open invoices. I can go and look at this invoice as the client, and I could go in and pay it if I were the client, or also just go directly back to the portal. If I have any forms or unread emails, I'll be able to see those. If I've worked on multiple projects with this same provider, I'll be able to swap between them, which is so fun. If you create different projects for instance, wedding day stationery and invitations, and save the dates, you can see how it'd be nice to be able to switch between different ones. You'll be able to see all the different emails that you have sent to the client, from the client, etc. and then their profile will have some information that they can always edit. So if their email changes, for instance, or their address changes or something, they can go in here and update it, and it will automatically update on your end. On our end, we have this different form section, and whenever we add in a form, so let's say I'll add this proposal to this job, we can see that I can now apply it to the portal. If you send something to a client, it sends it via email, and since the portal is activated, it will automatically apply that to the portal. So now I just did a refresh, and we have that proposal in here that they can go ahead and fill out as well. They'll be able to access it from the email, but they also will be able to access it from the portal, and it will come through as an email. Hey, we've completed this proposal for you to fill out. This is exactly what the email is going to look like in their inbox, and they can click this link to get to that proposal. What's nice is if you're doing like 5 different design proofs, for instance, they could go back and look at the previous versions here. They can make sure to keep on track of any forms that you have them fill out, as well as, of course, emails and invoices. And then any form that you apply here in the back end will not automatically apply to the portal unless you decide or you send it to the client via email. So you can see here we have apply to portal or we have send. Both of those options will apply it to the portal. One will send the email, or just apply to portal will just apply to the portal. But until we click that, they can't view that form. So I have some forms that I like to go ahead and add, and then I can do some editing to them before I'm going to apply them to the portal or send them directly to the client. And as far as what they can and can't see in the portal, they will see any emails that you have sent to them or they have sent to you. They will see any invoices that you create. They will also see any forms that you have either sent or clicked apply to portal. If you haven't done that, then they won't see that. They will see any contracts that have been sent. They will not see appointments, workflows, tasks, or any notes in their portal. Now that we know about the client portal and how to use it in Dubsado, we're going to talk about our last type of form template, which is going to be a questionnaire. And now we'll have covered all of the different types of forms in Dubsado.